But it should be all good to go here. We are in the server and fantastic. But let's get back into the flow of things. Rogue transmission, good map, but difficult for the China side. Isn't that right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like we were saying before. You ran more of an infantry-centric team, going to have some issues here with the vehicles, but I mean, really, to be completely honest, it's going to be NaFu's match to lose. I think ultimately, they've been together longer. uRaN really just was put together for this particular event, so um, I'm gonna say that NaFu's gonna have a pretty decent shot at taking the win here.
All right. Well, we can actually look at the pings right now. So far, the highest is JDD with 250 ping, 230. Is that 300? No, it's 234 for Junior PL and Santa with 17. You said it absolutely right. Very close to the server. So, and the only American. So this is a Brazilian team, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a Brazilian team for the most part, yeah.
Okay, except for Santa.
Yeah.
Well, hello to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to share and tell a friend to tune in right now. If you know someone who loves competitive or is interested in competitive, be sure to check out what could be possibly the last final here on Auzom GG in BF4. But with we have high hopes for BF1, and we dipped our toes into that pool of what was it, ominous, unsettling, unknowing of what's going to be going on with Battlefield 1, but we kind of know it's not safe to swim in that pool of competitiveness because we're just hoping that there will be something, unless it will be better luck next time.
Well, it'll definitely have to come from the organizers. I mean, we're going to be the ones that are have to sort everything out, ban things that need to be banned, try and make some of the maps work. Unfortunately, operations, which people seem to like pretty well, which it's not a bad mode. It's not a bad mode at all. The behemoths are a bit annoying, but that's not even going to be available for rent servers. So we are not going to be able to use that for any kind of private competitive matches. So it's down to basically just Conquest Rush. And we could do 8v8 domination. Yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, for that, Falls?
I
Huh?
don't
Yeah, for
know.
that?
We kind of need
Huh?
some. We need some
Oh, yeah.
vehicles.
Falls is wanting that. He's like, oh, yeah, I can do some 8v8 domination. Woo!
Woo!
No,
I
no,
cannot
we don't,
contain
we don't want to
my
do domination,
excitement.
guys.
Could
We
you
do not
be?
want to do domination. I would rather watch Diffuse than domination again. Oh, my God. I do not want to watch domination again. Yeah, so we're going to be pretty limited on exactly what we can use. Pigeon mode, people are saying that that's going to be the new competitive godsend mode for 5v5s at the very least. But for the time being, there are no vehicles in it, and it's basically like Oddball from Halo. So if you guys ever played Oddball back in the Halo days of I think it's 1, 2, and 3, it's keep away is basically what it is. You just grab the objective and you run away and hide, and that's the strategy of it. That's the strategy of it. You pick up the objective, you run and hide, and you hope that you live long enough to get a point.
I mean, we could have well, a mode. I kind of like. I'm not so experienced with Overwatch, although I have a vague understanding. There's one game mode which you have to escort the cargo from one end of the map to the other, and I
Payload?
think, sorry,
Payload?
payload. That one, as you can
Like
see.
in the old, well, it's in Overwatch, it's in TF2, it's in regular Team Fortress. They had it in, shit, um, not Wolfenstein, Enemy Territory, um, Dirty Bomb.
Yeah,
Well, Dirty
so
Bomb didn't have payload.
that
Anyways,
that could be a mode that would work. It's kind of tricky. I'm not sure how important it is that it is in a World War One setting. I don't think that really matters. With
you know
the,
what would work, Falls? You know what would work?
what would work, Brett?
Some good small conquest maps. Like 3 flags or so.
Yeah, like Conquest
Every
Small, isn't
every
that
every now and then, like a
every
fourth
now?
one.
Yeah,
It's this really crazy idea. It's basically conquest large,
you
right?
are a genius. This
But
is so innovative.
shrink it down. Dude, I know. it's crazy enough that it could actually be really, really good. Like people would have played it for like the last 15 years in the Battlefield games.
Yeah, people would have definitely played it for such a long time, and it would be a successful mode and still be carrying out, though, even though a game is coming to an end.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
Who would have
fantastic.
thought? I mean, I probably should just go ahead and work for Dice EA because the ideas are just, it's so great.
Some water for your salt there, Brett?
Dude,
That's fine. Well, we're waiting for
I'm,
one more player.
it's basically just shaking off me right now, okay?
Shaking off
It's like
you.
you,
You're
it's
like
like you
the
got some French fries. I'll just go over there and shake my head a little bit,
like
and boom, there you go.
like a homeless guy with terrible dandruff, and just be like, here, you want some of that on your
Exactly.
or the
Just,
a
boom.
pretzel, the giant pretzel with the big salt chunks on it.
That'd probably be a little bit more like it, yeah.
For let's do this the struggle for metaphors here for the grand finals. But this is what happens. Brett mentioned it earlier that if you leave casters alone waiting for a game to start, we will talk
Oh,
about.
this is actually good conversation compared to some of the stuff that I've had in the past. Like last time, the last really bad delay that we had, we were delayed for like an hour. We had to talk on stream, and for whatever reason, we started talking about protein shakes and about bad experiences at the gym. It's like, yeah, it was weird. It got to a really weird level. So we had to cut that like really, really quick. And if you go back and watch some of the Gamescom footage, there's some times where me and Milos were like stuck in some really, really bad overtimes for the 5v5 squad obliteration, and we're just like waiting for teams to get their shit together. So it was kind of like, let's talk about random stuff. I mean, we were talking like movie quotes at one point. It's awesome stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we gotta entertain you guys. That's what it's all about. But let's refer to the chat for some ideas. Unfortunately, it's a 1 minute delay, Brett. So we'll get some slow things. But it seems to be a popular thing. Horse mode. Horses, 1v1 horse or 2v2. 32v32 recons from Megas, who is a tanker. 8v8
So
bayonet rush only.
pubs, right?
Basically, what? Sorry.
Basically public matches.
Yes.
I mean, that's what we already get in public matches, right?
Yes, but they're live, so we can stop talking about this and see what's going to be going on. We have uRaN on Russian blue, NaFu, China red, NaFu on the harder side, but let's see if they will do as Brett has predicted to get control of this tomato in the attack jet, waiting for a chance to strike. And the Russian team will get onto that Charlie objective first, but I think that Dirty and a doozy actually going in the tank now. Very good tanker. Great choice to put him in the tank now to contest against Santa. But the Russians are already getting ready to get onto that heli spawn. But I don't think a doozy's going to let the helicopter take off. Peppering it, and it is down. No air superiority or a chance to gain that superiority for uRaN as of yet. But yeah, good start for both teams. Actually, a little bit of a standstill. A 3-flag hold right now for uRaN Gaming, but I think it is all down to Delta right now as Kibbs picks up a frag there onto Junior and tries to get that shot onto the tank, and it is down.
Yeah, that C site was a pretty interesting battle back and forth. They did have some infantry plays that they had to worry about from behind that were really hurting them there. But NaFu, though, doing a really good job of spreading on out and getting some really nice angles to take out that tank. So now it's going to be just down to infantry players here on C, and they are bottled up in probably one of the worst positions to actually be at in order to contest this particular flag. So yeah, they are definitely going to be having an issue of holding on to this, especially with that tank still up and alive and at full health right now.
Oh, the Kobe nade from Neo getting onto John. Nice kill from him there. I think they're going to get this helicopter pretty easily right now. And what the good thing which NaFu did was they eliminated that barrier on the dish to prevent uRaN from getting onto the roofs of Delta objective, which can be very difficult to clear. So they got rid of that fence. Aduzi probably took care of that at the very beginning, and now it is a 2-flag hold with Bravo slowly being pushed up, but there's a couple of NaFu players running up to Delta objective, but I think Aduzi is going to respond appropriately, and with that helicopter up, they could potentially stop it, but so many players from uRaN already pushing up onto Delta 2 on the flag already. And
yeah, and one of the other things that I want to mention real quick is the fact that the jet is already down right now for uRaN. So potato basically is going to just harass this armor over and over again. He does finally get the kill. So the armor right now for uRaN is going to have a very difficult time of doing anything, which makes it all the more important that they are attacking this Delta Bravo side of the map, because it is going to allow them a little bit more cover than what they normally would have from the jets and potentially the chat chopper if it does get up and alive, which it is right now. So they're going to have to worry about, having TV missiles really coming in and pounding the crap out of them for a while.
Yeah, but Aduzi's playing a risky game here, trying to push up onto Delta to put a little bit of pressure onto uRaN, as they are in a... They have a disadvantage right now with the flag holds, but he does pick up one kill there onto Kala. But uRaN are actually playing it smart. We have Yosni trying to lock on to Foray Verks in the attack helicopter, but I think he's going to pick up the frags there. Clears up that Bravo dish top. And we do have a rotation coming in from Maestris pushing up onto Alpha objective. And I think Aduzi could potentially hold on down to this. He has Dirty as his gunner and pushing out as an infantry player. And actually 3 bodies from NaFu on Bravo objective. I think they could secure this, but it is going to be a little bit of a difficult situation. I mean, uRaN are looking straight down from that Delta point, and they have the spawns. And no one really has done anything to try and contest it. Charlie's blinking as well with one player. NaFu have spread themselves a little bit too thin here with so many bodies in the sky and not on the ground.
Well, yeah, exactly. You have a lot of players. That's what we were kind of talking about before. If you have too many people in the vehicles, it can kind of leave it a little bit wacky or hard for you to hit those certain spots. But the thing is, though, is that as long as we can, tie this up real quick on a 2-2 flags, we kind of settle it down just a little bit. I think that NaFu are going to be perfectly fine, and then they'll just slow push into one of these flags. At first, yeah, it looked like they're going to be spread way too thin, which they were. But, I mean, right now, it looks like they are going to be winning out over here onto the jet battle. The helicopter is going to be able to do some damage as well, and even help out with the jet battle potentially here, and getting some drops onto Delta. So uRaN is going to be really struggling to reinforce anywhere on the map. And this is what I was talking about also, the fact that there are such long sight lines, right? They go from flag to flag.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult for them just to run to get to these flags for caps, because there's going to be people set up. The tank's going to be looking in the direction, and they're just not going to be able to make it.
And, I mean, we do have NaFu finally beginning to push back here on Delta objective. We have a couple of bodies pouring in 3v3 potentially. The flag is actually falling to their favor, and they could get this. But, considering that NaFu are on the harder side, I do want to say that they can go in. If they play this round very well and lose by a very small amount of tickets, they can afford that loss and come back on the Russian side and just lock it down super hard and not give any chance to uRaN to come back from a very hard flag cap. So they could afford to lose with a very small ticket difference and go into the next round knowing that they're going to be on the stronger side and, potentially secure a victory even though they lose the first round.
Yeah, absolutely. And you do have uRaN though playing a little bit smart there with their infantry paddles. They basically just sat and hide in the crates there to get that burn back onto D after they had all left. So they will be able to keep at least one flag in their possession here for the time being. But that chopper is just doing so much work right now, pretty much dominating the playing field over here onto Alpha. That's 3 dead, and the armor as well getting picked up over there onto A. And there's really no answer here for uRaN. Like, they need to be able to get like a really good straw shot off, because or their jet needs to go ahead and win out in their jet battle, but that hasn't happened yet. So I doubt it's going to be happening, as Potato Tomato pretty darn good up there in the air.
Yeah, he's a pretty good pilot. I've never really seen him flying so much. I've mainly seen him playing vehicles such as the LAV or the tank, but I guess And a Aduzi usually is a primary tinker for any sort of top team that he would be in the first lineup. Aduzi will play tank. He's played tank for OC. He's played tank for NaFu, but now he seems to have taken a little bit of a step back and was usually running infantry. But I guess if they really want to win this match, they're going to pull out all the stops and put Aduzi where he belongs, his natural habitat, that tank. And yeah, so it's good to see him back in his natural environment, and he is doing pretty well, 16-0, and that's what I'm talking about. Very, very good tanker, and very smart player as well. Not going to be wasting time capping flags.
Yeah. So right now, I mean, the beginning of the map looked pretty good there for uRaN, but again, it is the better side if you will. But this is pretty much exactly like what I was thinking that it was going to go to, which was NaFu dominating the playing field for the most part. They may not be able to get away with a 4-cap here, as uRaN will be able to just power cap on certain flags, but they are definitely going to be able to control the bleed now, and I think until the very end of the match.
Yeah, dude, it looks to be a full cap actually. Kibbs getting a kill onto JDD, and one more player remaining there, but that was Jugs trying to push up onto John. 2v1 situation. I think Kibbs could just stay here and chill out. They don't need to panic. Delta is not that important right now. They do have a 3-flag hold, and the tickets are just bleeding away for uRaN, with NaFu having about a 30-ticket lead right now.
Yeah, I mean, right now, all that we need to be seeing from NaFu is just basically hanging them up on this one flag. They can set 1 or 2 guys just to harass on this back flag that basically forces uRaN to either put the equal amount of players or more in order to hold this particular flag. It's going to be much, much easier around the rest of the map to just basically, pad the numbers that are already starting to skyrocket up. So yeah, this is fantastic jobs coming out right now for NaFu. Still going to be holding on to that majority cap. We do have an armor battle that might be shaping up over here. Those Santa and Aduzi are going to be going at it, but I think there's going to be a slight advantage over here as Aduzi is going to have some infantry play on the ground to be able to give him support, and with the chopper coming back in, yeah, that's not going to be fun.
I know Aduzi actually did a very aggressive push there in the very beginning when we were talking about the air, and he was right up to the Russian base, just sitting, keeping Santa at bay, making sure that they hold on to this alpha flag, give him very little breathing space, and he is down. And air superiority belongs to NaFu. Vehicle superiority is belonging as well to them, and now it is just an infantry team deathmatch happening here on Delta, with a couple of frags being exchanged between the two teams. And Kibbs will stay alive. He's a very good fragger for his team, going 9-7, which is decent. He's getting the frags, and Neo is doing well in the helicopter, 19-3. So, and there's a JDD here with the Stinger trying to lock onto this helicopter, but with that mountain range or that hill just across the dish there, it's going to be very easy for Iverix to lose the lock, and JDD could actually be spending time to get on the flag instead of being exposed there and get taken out by Neo.
Yeah, what they need to do here for uRaN is focus on getting control of that Bravo flag. Stop the bleed first. Stop this bleed.
Yeah.
And then they need to get at least some slams down on top of Bravo as well. Maybe control a little bit of the tank, being able to push in there on very freely, because at the moment they are not able to get their own armor in there, and they're not going to with the way that the air vehicles are going to be able to control the skies for the time being. And I haven't even really seen the jet coming back up for uRaN. It looks like they may have just gone ahead and said, screw it, we'll use the extra guy on the ground and try and just push it that way. But I mean, unless we see the jet and the chopper going down for NaFu, this is going to be the way the game is going to go. There is no possible way here for uRaN to get out of this mess, just because they just don't have armor. I mean, they have no heavy hitter presence whatsoever on the map right now.
Aduzi going 21-0. Please, Aduzi. He's going to have a perfect score this round, I do believe, as we have a little bit of a uRaN presence here on Alpha Objective. Khaled trying to take a pot shot with this small into the helicopter. And that's always a thing in 8v8 or 10v10 for that matter. If you have a skilled helicopter pilot, it probably is a better solution to take a straw or a small rather than an Igla or Stinger, because you're going to be consistently losing the lock, or have ECM to block it. You could switch seats with a gunner, have the
Uzi might be losing out here.
Oh, maybe I jinxed him.
He's getting shot from behind. Yep, he does end up getting picked up. The helicopter, though, is going to be able to take down Santa, but that does open up a window to maybe try and power burn another flag. They are on B at the time being, and the jets are still up in the air right now for uRaN. Tomato took a little bit of damage there, so like I said, it just opens up maybe a slight window, but with both of their players getting picked up on Bravo, that pretty much shuts that down. Unless they can get a power burn on the C maybe really, really quick, this is going to be over.
Yeah, 11 tickets remaining. The music's going already. It's not looking good. But 166 on the China side. We can pretty much expect what's to come when NaFu switch sides here and take the stronger side. And I'm gonna predict that NaFu will not drop below 210 tickets on the second round. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, 166 to 0 in the favor of NaFu. uRaN doing an okay job there, but being absolutely overwhelmed by the armor.
And you know, another thing that we didn't really see too much were any suicide jeeps. You know, we didn't see any suicide jeeps coming out for uRaN to try and take care of it. But you know, even if we did see some of them coming out, I don't really think they would have been able to do much damage, just because the helicopter was pretty much on the ball when it came to defending anybody leaving that spawn. He was able to spot them out very, very quickly. So yeah, I mean, overall, it was just complete domination. You can see Neo going 31-3 right there, 22-1 there for a doozy. So really, really good job there from those guys. Pretty much just locking it down completely. uRaN really struggling to do anything at all. 10-15 is their highest score, and that's going to be Kala, and he was on the ground as an infantry player. So yeah, just overall not looking good on this particular map. But like I said, you know, it'll be interesting to see how things pan out onto Hainan Resort, as it is a very infantry focused map. And that's where uRaN really does shine. And there's no jets on that map, so they won't have to worry about Potato Tomato keeping them down all the time.
But Potato Tomato will take that LAV though and do very nice plays as well. So I don't think NaFu will be completely out of the question in Hainan Resort.
No, I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying that uRaN is not going to have to worry about too much in terms of the air assets. They'll only have to worry about the little bird, and that's it. And the little birds are a little bit easier to take down because they don't have the range as the attack choppers do. So you know, you can get some good smalls and straws onto the little birds, as opposed to with that attack chopper. It can get out there a little bit further in distance. He can TV you from afar. He can also, you know, just pick at you with his 30mm underneath. So yeah, it's pretty annoying with the attack chopper as opposed to little birds.
Yeah, I think uRaN should have focused a little bit harder on making sure someone stayed up on Charlie, up in the hills, just to have a lookout and keep that helicopter down. That usually tends to be a priority for the teams, is just keep the helicopter down at all costs, and always have someone ready with a small RPG to lob it onto the helicopter pad. And it's just, maybe they weren't keeping an eye out, or they didn't have enough, you know, time to respond for the helicopter. But as soon as that cap came in straight away onto Charlie's side, that helicopter went up, and it was easy pickings for them. But let's see what happens here. I mean, NaFu are definitely going to get that helicopter in the very start, unless Santa makes a big mistake and is too slow to get there, or even the infantry don't have enough time with the quad bikes to get onto Charlie, and they need to rush that point because they don't want to be thrown into the same situation which they had on the round previously. Oh, but they seem to be okay. I'm not sure. I don't have the chat open in game, but has there been any complaints about how they're being handling, or are they just being good sports and playing?
To be honest with you, I haven't even had mine open. Mine's been closed pretty much the entire time. So, you know, if they've been screaming at us, you know, I didn't notice it, so they're okay. We're gonna deal with it. But yeah, 10 seconds left to go before we get started here for the second round, and we do have what was it? 188 tickets?
166 to 0.
166 tickets. Okay. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be pretty difficult for them to be able to hold off. Like you said, you know, there's going to be a really big grab coming out right out of the break here for NaFu, and they should be able to get a fairly fast 3-cap, in my opinion.
And look at their breakout. One. Yeah, it's standard, leaving one at Alpha with a squad mate spawning in onto Bravo. Look at this, a 3-man bomb onto a Charlie objective already, and a doozy pulling up in the tank. We have 3 players pushing it from uRaN right now onto the point with, you know, NaFu waiting for the helicopter. They're taking off already, and that is probably going to be that game over move there for uRaN. Bravo being contested. Potato Tomato getting a lot of damage onto the jet, already almost disabling him with 84 health, and Yanni will go down there just booping, touching tips.
Yeah, right there. You know, Santa really needed to make sure that he had his sights trained on that helicopter the entire time, because you knew, it's like you said, you knew exactly what was going to happen there, as they're going to be taking that right away. We'll be having the air dominance as well. Jets are not looking too favorable here for uRaN as well. But you can see that Delta site finally getting capped over right now, as really not stop anything here. But we do see Dirty throwing out some slams. That's going to be a really good position there just to go ahead and do some damage to the tank. Not sure if it's going to be spotted out or not, but it will slow down any kind of a push that's going to be coming up for that B site. So overall, like, fantastic. Basically, the best breakout that you can possibly ask for Rogue.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the ticket difference. It's only been 2 minutes. Yeah, been 2 minutes just gone past right now, and a 40 ticket difference. And I think the only reason NaFu have lost a couple of tickets is just due to some frags coming in here and then from uRaN. But they have a pretty good presence here on Bravo objective, and I think they could try and lock this down. A doozy is actually pulling in though, so the situation is getting difficult, more difficult by the second as he takes out uRaN Yawn. And I think that's Bravo locked down straight away. Charlie, however, is being contested by a couple, but a doozy instantly responding to this Papa Black here, going into this house and gonna try and get some cover, while Little Mark is well with the javelin, trying to lock onto something. Probably gonna try and put some pressure onto a doozy. But if a doozy plays right, he won't even have to pop APS with that javelin threat in there.
Yeah. And you can see right now the chopper is just basically been pounded onto Santa right as he's coming out. He's already down to 52 health, so in the tank, and he's just now making it over here to that Delta Bravo section. But as soon as we do see a transition trying to come over here to that C flag, you see a couple of infantry players just popping on in to that Delta site. And I mean, this is pretty much going to be over. We got, what, 10 tickets now before the match is, or for this round to be over. And that's pretty much what we said it was going to happen, right?
Yeah, I actually was a bit too harsh on NaFu, saying that they won't drop below 220, but 245 seems to be the magic number if they can hold on to this, and that is GG for this map already. So we can go into the map 2, which is the choice of uRaN, but let's go to the desk here. Maybe uRaN will pull things out a little bit better and do some harder work on Hainan Resort, but I don't know. Judging by the performance here in this organization from uRaN, I think NaFu will most likely take a very strong victory on Hainan Resort as well. But then again, you've seen him and you've seen him play in the. How did they perform against Exodus?
They won Hainan Resort pretty convincingly the other night on that particular map. But I mean, the thing though is that I feel like personally the European teams are better on their rotations.
Yes.
Than what we're seeing from the South American teams. I just think that they have. I think that the North and South American teams know that they should go for the rotations, but I think that the European teams do it faster and cleaner. And that is one of the reasons why I think Hainan Resort is going to be a better map for them. Because on this particular map right here, it's very easy to get bottled up into that B flag. But you can go for the gimme flags. You can go for A and C very easily and just hold those for your 2-cap burn, right? You don't even have to have B to have a successful burn on this particular map. So we could potentially be seeing that coming out. And when you do get in that situation, right, where you're controlling C and A, and then the team rotates to try and take maybe C flag to get it back, well then that's fine. You just have your guys that are dying on C spawn at A and then push up towards that Bravo flag, and it's this constant like push pull rotation that's going to be going down, and it's really hard for a lot of teams to stop that once it gets into that momentum. The helicopter